Yeah, we got some treasure. This came out just from the blower. These dryers are only so strong, they can only push the lint so far, and once you're pulling out this much debris, you're running the risk of damaging the appliance because it has to work so hard. All right, I cleaned this dryer vent about 12 months ago. It's a pretty long one with a couple complicated bends in it. So it starts on the other side of that door and then goes up, comes out right up there on the wall. It was really crazy last time I cleaned it. I'm gonna see what it looks like now after 12 months. With vents like this, what often happens is the lint hits some of those 90-degree elbows that are in there and loses a lot of its velocity. And then when it comes over around a vertical bend and then into a horizontal section, a lot of that lint just falls out of the airstream and ends up just sitting in that horizontal section. And then in this vent in particular, it's got a vertical run to a horizontal section, and then it's got another 90-degree bend that takes it another direction horizontally. So I'm expecting to see a pretty good amount of buildup in here. All right, so we got semi-rigid sleeve back here. I'm gonna disconnect this. Dryer is heating okay, and it's not built up too bad in here. That's a good sign. All right, because this vent is a pretty long run, I'm using the 35-foot brush for this one. Yeah, we got some treasure. This came out just from the blower. So yeah, that was pretty dirty. This is almost exactly 12 months since I cleaned it the last time. Vent is probably 20 or 25 feet long, maybe even close to 30. Probably in the 20s. But it's those 90-degree bends. These dryers are only so strong, they can only push the lint so far, and they build these long vent runs in these fancy houses. They just end up causing problems. You know, if this had built up too much more, they likely would have started to have issues with the dryer if they weren't already having like slow cycles or having to run multiple cycles or getting error codes or something. A vent like this probably needs like almost every 6 months cleaning before it gets like this, because once you're pulling out this much debris, you're losing dryer efficiency. You're spending more money on energy. You're running the risk of damaging the appliance because it has to work so hard, so you can burn out some of the more delicate parts of the machine. This lint smells like dogs. So yeah, if you're a homeowner, you want to know how your dryer vent is built. You want to know how it's routed, what it's made of, how long it is, what type of cap you have on the end. All this stuff matters, because some vents, if it's built right and you take care of it, you can maintain it yourself, no problem, and you never need to call a guy like me. Other vents, if it's a really wacky build and you need to get on a ladder to access it and all that, you might want to call someone like me to take care of it for you, just to make sure that you've got good airflow and you've got no problems. So yeah, the general cadence I recommend for cleaning is about 6 months on the low end. You shouldn't need to clean a dryer vent any more often than 6 months. And I wouldn't go longer than 18 months on any dryer vent. There's just too many variables. You know, you can get a bird nest, you can get rodent activity, you can get a blockage that develops. Dried lint can build up in the vent cap and actually end up holding the cap open and inviting critters in there. I saw on Reddit the other day, somebody had a snake in a up high wall vent like this because they had gotten birds in the vent, and then a snake climbed the wall and went after the birds. All of this can be avoided with regular dryer vent maintenance. People spend a lot of money on beautiful houses, and then they risk fires because they don't take care of little things like dryer vents. Don't be like that. All right, now I'm gonna turn the blower on all the way. All right, I'm gonna clean up what I can out here. This will take me a minute. So the nature of these semi-rigid sleeves is that they leak. So I'm gonna replace that sleeve with one that seals up better. That way they don't get debris back here in the future. So yeah, this flick sleeve is much better for most homeowners. You can make it long enough for people to pull the dryer out and get back here in case they ever drop stuff. But then it still collapses down without a problem. Unlike those semi-rigid sleeves, this also is it's actually more durable because those semi-rigid sleeves puncture really easily and they crush really easy. These are actually quite difficult to tear in comparison. They have less crevices overall for debris to build up in, and they form a better seal. Airflow is restored, the flap is lifting, it's shaking a little bit inside there, which means the air is blowing. So we got good airflow, the dryer is going to function well. So of course, if you are in Austin and you need your dryer vent inspected or cleaned, give me a call.